This is Escape Into a Cause, the podcast for people who want to give back, get involved, and do more in their community, but aren't sure where to start. I'm Stephanie Dyer, and every week my co-host Courtney Dickey and I dig into meaningful issues, share some stories, and highlight local nonprofits making a difference in Austin. And if we do our job right, you'll feel inspired to show up for the organizations that resonate with you here in Central Texas. Lately, I've been wondering why community feels different than it did when I was growing up. I don't see as many kids out playing, the casual backyard barbecues have slowed down, and if we're honest, it's a little jarring now when someone shows up at your front door unannounced, something that used to feel completely normal. And so then I'm thinking, is this because more households have two working parents than when I was a kid? I mean, my mom stayed home, I've chosen to work. Is it the pressure on young kids to start sports, tryouts, even travel earlier and earlier? Time that used to simply belong to being a kid? Or maybe social media has even convinced us that our homes need to look curated before we let anyone in. And irrespective of what's driving this, the data backs it up, and something really has changed. Well, we have talked about this before. Robert Putnam's research in Bowling alone showed that in the mid to late 1970s, the average American household entertained friends at home about 14 to 15 times a year. So that's more than once a month at their home that they entertained friends. By the late 1990s, that number dropped to about 8. So about a 45% decline. And around 1980, about 40% of Americans entertained at their home at least once a month. By the 2000s, it was under 20%. I don't know what the latest numbers are, but that is a significant drop of having your friends and your neighbors over at your home. And neighborhood relationships have shifted as well. So a 2010 Pew study found that 30% of Americans didn't know the name of a single neighbor. A separate survey cited in a 2013 Forbes article put that number closer to 50% of people did not know a name of their neighbor. So if it feels like community has thinned out a bit, you're probably not imagining it. Courtney and I talk about how much community matters and how stronger connections could actually reduce the need for charity in the long run. So talking about community, it's easy to forget that some of the people who rely on it most are the ones that we see the least. And that brings me to this week's conversation with Dr. Alarcon, Chief Executive Director of Family Eldercare. They focus on dignity and stability for older adults and adults with disabilities, people who often have fewer touch points, fewer safety nets, and fewer neighbors checking in. Just before Thanksgiving, my 17-year-old son Jaden and I volunteered with Drive a Senior. We were matched with an older adult, and this specific opportunity was to celebrate them on their birthday. You show up with a card and a small gift, maybe a plant, and a little bit of company. And our match was Connie, who was turning 67, and I called her ahead of time to see maybe what she wanted. And she mentioned she hadn't been to a restaurant in a very long time, and she'd been feeling lonely. So instead of just dropping off a card, we picked her up and we took her out to breakfast. Connie was fantastic. The conversation was easy. It was a lot of fun grabbing a breakfast and connecting with someone that we had just met. Snooze brought her a birthday pancake with a candle so we could sing and she could make a wish. And my son Jane was off school that week because it was Thanksgiving week, and I started my day at 9:30 instead of 9. And when we got home, my son told me that he really enjoyed that morning, which if you have a 17-year-old, you know that's a great review. So it was a good reminder that showing up doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's 1 hour, one ride, one breakfast with someone who needed company more than anything. And Dr. A shares stories that will hopefully inspire you to show up for the elderly community too, because community isn't abstract. It's the small, concrete ways we support one another. And sometimes that's checking on an elder neighbor. Sometimes it's partnering with a nonprofit that steps in when no one else can. And as Courtney and Dr. A both say, when you give today, whether it's time, attention, or support, someone may show up for you tomorrow. So don't forget to check out familyeldercare.org to see how you can get involved. But before you do that, let's get into it and let's escape into a cause. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Stephanie.
Welcome to today's show.
I'm excited.
Okay, we're going to talk about community.
Great. I love it. I love the word. I love everything about
Who
it.
do you think of when you think of the word community? Do you remember our guy by chance?
Oh, yeah.
I do. Robert Putnam.
Putnam.
You know, the reason I wanted to talk about that right now is I listened to a podcast recently with Jonathan Haidt. Do you know who Jonathan Haidt is?
I feel like it.
Haidt. I could be saying it wrong. He's the one that has sold all the books or anything about social media.
Yes.
Gone around, talked to everyone about how social media is hurting our children.
Yes.
And like, don't give your kid an iPhone before
Right.
16. And I listened to a podcast or an episode and he talked about Robert Putnam. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's our guy.
He's
so,
our guy.
Podcasts like Dax Shepard, Armchair Expert, and Escape into a Cause are talking about Robert Putnam.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the same line of work.
Same level.
Same level. Absolutely.
Same followerships.
We need to get Robert Putnam here. Anyway, community. What do you think of when you think of community?
Oh, I mean, that's everything to me. Like, truly. We talked about education. Education is everything. But I consider the education as part of my community, right? Like they are my neighbors. They are the store I see every day. They are the city of Austin. It is the town I invest in, the town I work in, the town my church is in. Like that community is everything. It's the people in my lives, in our lives. It's community.
It is. And you sit on boards for nonprofits. You're the president of the Junior League. You're sitting on Make-A-Wish Foundation for Central Texas.
Yeah.
And I know that you're involved in nonprofits, but I also know that you really do mean that when you care about community. So I think you get involved with these nonprofits. They are local nonprofits, which lend to the community.
Yes, to the people that we see every day.
I know you care about your neighborhood because we finally had to buy a video camera at the front of our neighborhood.
I know. Did you hear about lately? What happened?
A car was stolen.
A car was stolen.
But yeah, we both know this, our neighbor, the car stolen. Mm-hmm. But I will say the crime has gone down a lot since that.
It has gone down a lot. We do have video footage that's to protect our community, right? And when this happened, people jumped. Like, how can we help? What can we do? And our neighbor and I spent many text messages figuring out what's the best next steps and what do they need? What do the police need? But it's helping people. It's being there. It's realizing you're not alone. It's committing to be a part of something that's bigger.
And you're not getting anything back other than this connective tie of I feel good, I'm helping my neighbor, and it brings you closer to people and connection is everything.
Yes. And it just makes you informed of the city that you live in and the resources that are available and the problems that it's facing and the solutions that people are coming up with. And you just feel ingrained in the daily lives of others, which is so important. We've talked about loneliness too, but also by having this community, by investing in the community, I know if something ever happens to my family, my community will invest back in me. We won't be alone. We're not going to walk through that problem alone. And I do see it very much as a reciprocal relationship. Most of the time, it's me giving more. And that's okay because I just appreciate there's a little bit of insurance knowing if anything happened to us, that community would be there. Yeah.
100%. And I know it always goes beyond the neighborhood, but I do talk about the neighborhood right now because you're my neighbor.
We are.
I love
right
you
next
as
to
my
each
neighbor.
other.
And I remember, like, for example, the ice storm.
Yes.
Our whole neighborhood had power out.
Yes.
Actually, let's talk about this. It was the first snowstorm before the ice storm, right? I think this first snowstorm, the power was out also.
There was,
Yeah, we went to this gated area off of our neighborhood.
Yes,
and
y'all went up the hill.
Yes. And people asked us into their home
of course.
We knew.
Yeah.
And we spent the night at a neighbor's casita in their backyard.
Yes.
And it was fantastic.
Sounds
they had
lovely.
power.
Yeah.
And then the ice storm happened and pipes were breaking. So this was 2 years later.
Yep.
And one of our neighbors texted my husband like, oh my gosh, I think I left the faucet on.
I remember this.
Yes, it was the same person who had their car stolen. Oh, no.
Yes.
And he's like, can you please go check that?
Yes.
And so Brett ran over there, checked it, and the water was starting to overflow onto their wood floors because they left because of the power being out. Anyway, bottom line, it was really funny. You know, Brett is Nightlight Insurance Agency, so he's in the insurance business. And then this neighbor said, I'm going to write up a review that you're the best insurance agent ever.
Because he is.
No, it was really sweet. But it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's like, these are neighbors. This is community.
Yes. That's right.
And it comes back to you.
Absolutely.
Right?
I remember, so when the first snowstorm happened, I had a 5-month-old child. I had a baby. And there was no warmth. We were sitting in cold homes. And I was doing all the best I could, still breastfeeding. I was able to still feed him. But I mean, in this moment, you're thinking, of course we were going to be fine. Like we had the resources to be fine. We had the community to be fine. But you imagine those people who don't have a home, they don't have blankets. I was a little bit fearful. I'm like, if I stop producing, and anyway, we got in our car because a neighbor on the other side of the highway said, we've got power. They were on a grid with a hospital. And so they kept power. So we went through the streets on ice, but we're like, we've got to get there. And she, not only did she let us in, which again, we had a 5-month-old baby. Charlotte must have been, 4 years old. We had a golden retriever, a Bernese Mountain Dog. And they let us all in. And I have this picture and I'll never forget. It's like me sitting in her kitchen with just a warm mug of tea. And I'm like, this is a warm mug of tea in a house with light and heat. And then the second one, we were traveling and Miss Whitney was with our kids. We lost power and she knew, and the McGraths, shout out to them. In our neighborhood, she knew the McGraths. They used to work together. So she takes my kids and my dog over to the McGraths. They also don't have power, but they put all of these couches together in the living room. They made a fire. All the kids slept on these couches with the dogs and they read stories and they just did everything they could to make it as positive of an experience and fun of as an experience as they could. But without community, without people reaching out and helping, we've got nothing, y'all. I feel so passionately about this concept of community.
Get to know your neighbors.
Yes.
And to that point, also, again, we've talked about it. Go volunteer. Go get involved with nonprofits.
Yeah.
Go do things that you start connecting with the people. Like I've seen Whitney with the Junior League now that I'm with the Junior League. And I just think the more connections you make, you can tap on their shoulder in a time of need, which everyone needs that. I don't care if you think that you can do everything. We've talked about this. We did a whole episode on hyper-individualism and whether it's hurting or helping our country. And I just think you can pull yourself by your own bootstraps. That's great that you feel pride in that.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of community is to give and take.
Yeah. And the reliance on others is actually a very healthy thing. Sometimes you can't be 100% reliant on them. And there's certain things that you have to do for yourself, but asking for help, seeking help can be so healthy and so powerful and can get you out of situations. And I have always been happy and proud to be that help card and that people around me know I'll be there, or a nonprofit that I help. Yes, I'll show up. Showing up matters. But I think without that investment in the community and without that education of knowing who your neighbors are, and I say neighbors in a very broad term, not just the ones next to you or in your neighborhood, but the people in the community and the surrounding area who are hurting, who are helping, who are teaching, who are protecting, get to know these people and you will feel so much more joy, I think, and you'll feel less alone and you'll feel, I keep saying it, but part of something bigger, which we know lends to not just mental health, but physical health, to know that you are contributing to something bigger than yourself.
No, it really does. And one thing that I've thought about recently is my son is 17. Him and all of his friends are very much into their devices.
Sure.
Whether that's games or my son just recently got social media for the first time his junior year because he just turned 17. And I think his age group is connected and disconnected.
Sure.
And what's interesting that I have found is that two of his best friends on separate occasions, and my son, so 3 different experiences, summer camp. One did an internship type camp, and he met a girl head over heels for this girl in a different state,
School love.
So I don't think it lasted, but this is one of Jaden's best friends, told me all about it, told me that these were family. They're family, right? The summer camp and I think it was an internship type camp situation at a university. The other went to a outdoor camp.
Yes.
And I just talked to him because we went to Terralingua last weekend and he went with us. And he told me about how that was the best experience in connecting with people and being off the devices and going and hiking with people. And those are people for life. And then my son goes to Camp OTX.
Yeah.
And he said that is the absolute best experience he's ever had.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And just that those are now his friends for life. He doesn't make those connections at school as much.
Yeah.
And so I think my point I'm trying to make there is it's been so interesting through their lens of their age group and hearing that they just spend 1 or 2 weeks with a small group of people. And it doesn't matter who these people are. They're now best friends for life.
Isn't that fantastic?
And it shows you that we're less divided and different than we think.
Oh, absolutely.
And that
Yeah.
you can just go probably throw a random group of people together. And if you connect enough and you reach out enough and you talk enough, you're going to find things that you relate.
Yes.
And you might not have the same political beliefs. You might not have the same religious beliefs.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. That's community. It's just like showing up for each other and getting to know each other and finding those things that you can really relate to and familiarize yourself, and you can be there for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's what these boys that are 16, 17 are finding.
Yeah.
And they're not finding it on like a day-to-day just passing people by.
Yes.
So I do think that that's so important for a community. And for me, that was a great example of hearing how spending time with each other, with your neighbors, will create a bond.
Yes, absolutely. And I think people talk about these online communities, not the same.
It's not the same. And I
the same.
do think that you probably can create, I don't know if you ever see, do you ever watch, these are the podcasts I'm going up against, or like the serial killer podcast.
Oh, yes.
But they have those forums where people connect on those things.
And they do. And listen, I would prefer that over being by yourself or feeling. I would prefer, if you feel like you have an online community, I would much prefer that than you feeling like you have no one. Okay. But I would then argue, walk out your front door, go meet people in person. Like you were describing all the camp experience. It's because these people were brought together to live life together, right? Like they had to live together and they had to experience together. And I think that's really what is so special and what makes us just part of the human race, right? And yes, all of these people that are brought together, and let's take our neighborhood as a microcosm. We all have different political beliefs and ideologies. What's great, rarely does that ever come up. Right. We talk about our neighborhood. We talk about our school. We talk about our families. That is number 364 on the list of things that we have in common or that we're interested in. We don't even have to talk about that. And so I think if people sort of reshuffled their conversation and what they learn about people and what they know about each other so that the most divisive topics are at the end of the things that we know about each other, like I think we'd solve a lot of problems.
Agree. And also plug for Austin Sunshine Camps. Like,
I know that's where I was going to. I was thinking about them. Yeah.
Go donate to them. But I totally agree with you, Courtney. And just real quick, talking about showing up for your community, I do think that comes in the form of like food pantries. That local giving of, especially in the arts, right? Like Sage Studio and art from the streets. That's community. Going to one of those art shows and talking to the artists.
Yeah.
And I think that there is this intersection of community and nonprofit work. And the more we show up as a community, the less we've said organized nonprofits have to contribute, because we're contributing as a community.
That's right. You love what makes Austin unique. You love the trail. Go donate to the Trail Foundation. Go pick up trash.
Right.
You love music. Go donate to HAM and to our artists in the community to make sure we still have music in Austin.
Yeah, don't make ACL your only go-to.
No.
That's
not a nonprofit.
Yeah.
C3 is doing just fine.
But
C3 has a nonprofit arm? Tell me more.
No, yeah. So part of the ACL ticket goes to Austin Parks Foundation.
Oh, fantastic. As it should. They're using Zilker Park. Oh, I love that. Okay, good.
I think they've gotten like over the years $10 million from ACL.
Maybe that's like their largest fundraiser.
I think it is.
Okay, that's good. Because sweet Zilker just gets ruined.
And they do their gala every year, Party at the Parks.
Party at the Parks, which is like part of, I saw many friends there.
Yeah, they had Passion Pit, which is a total millennial band. Yeah,
it
was a good one.
Okay.
Anyway, and then lastly, I know there was a study in China found that participation in mutual aid significantly improved, which, did you know what mutual aid is? I'm sorry. I did not understand the word mutual aid, that it had like a specific definition.
There's some type of aid that's being exchanged?
Yeah, just means instead of charity where it flows from donor to recipient, it flows in all directions. Everyone has something to give and something they might need.
Oh, no, that's interesting.
But I don't know. There's an Austin Mutual Aid, which I looked up.
Really?
Yeah. And
you've never heard of them.
Yeah, but I just don't know what you're like getting back.
I don't know. Let's explore that.
I do want to explore that more, because I was like, oh, that's what mutual aid means. But a study in China found that participation in mutual aid significantly improved subjective well-being. People felt better, not just because of the material resources provided, but because social networks expanded and self-esteem and self-efficacy improved. So anyway, bottom line is go give, go create your sense of community.
Go be in the community and go invest, because it will invest back in you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
Steph.
We'll be right back. Escape into a Cause is sponsored by Nightlight Insurance Agency. You know how a nightlight gives you comfort and peace of mind in the dark? That's exactly what Nightlight aims to do. Guide you through life's uncertainties with personalized insurance for your home, auto, business, and more. Nightlight Insurance strives to provide its clients the best coverage at the best price without sacrificing on customer service. Here's what one client had to say. Nightlight was able to lower our car insurance significantly, answered all our questions, and returned our calls promptly. Very professional, would highly recommend. So it's no surprise Nightlight has a 5-star rating on Google. Nightlight also makes this podcast possible by covering production costs so all other sponsorship dollars and gifts can go directly to nonprofits and volunteers. And as part of their mission to give back, Nightlight proudly donates $1,000 to every nonprofit we interview. If you are a sponsor interested in giving back to our podcast, please find us on social media and let us know. Nightlight is an agency focused on personalized service and giving back. See how much you could save and how good it feels to have peace of mind by visiting nightlightinsurance.com. Today, we're escaping into Family Eldercare, and I have Dr. Aaron Alarcon, CEO of Family Eldercare. Hi, Dr. A.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for this great opportunity to be here in your show. I've been looking forward to it for a while.
I am so appreciative that you're here because I think this is actually a cause that we haven't dived into yet on the show, and that's really taking care of the elderly community.
Of course, very important.
Very important, especially important in the U.S., I think.
Yes, in other countries, especially in Latin America, it seems that the culture invites family to take care of their own family members that start getting older. But here in the United States, for some reason, it's different. Maybe it's related to how our society focuses so much on productivity.
I think that's right. And Courtney and I have talked about a topic in the past about hyper-individualism in
Correct.
the U.S., and so I think that might be tied to that. But I'm so excited that you're here. Let's get started with what is the mission of Family Eldercare?
Yes. So for us at Family Eldercare, aging is just another word for living. And our overall vision is to help communities live their best lives. And we do that by providing services that promote dignity and stability for older adults and adults with disabilities.
Beautiful. I'm just curious. So what brought you personally, and I can call you Dr. A, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
sure.
Dr. A, what brought you personally to this cause?
I've been in the social service field my entire career, and probably the variable that prompted me to dedicate most of my career to aging and disability services is the fact that I was raised by my grandmother. I come from chaos. I always say I come from chaos. That's what chaos doesn't usually scare me. I didn't grow up with my parents. I was raised by my grandmother. So seeing her struggle, seeing her work, even when she was in her late 70s, made really a difference to me. And that developed a heart for that population. And then when I was a little older, when I was like 12 or so, my parents got together again. We started having a more normal family. And then my parents I had two more sisters that actually were twins, because one of my sisters was born with a developmental disability. In fact, she passed away 3 months ago. And I think my sister and my grandmother are that force that throughout these years has made me care so much for the elderly and those that have a disability.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your sister.
Thank you very much.
You know, it's a beautiful story in that the hardships that we endure, especially growing up and in our childhood, can provide a lot of empathy in our adulthood.
And resilience.
Absolutely.
And resilience, yes.
Absolutely. What is the specific community that Family Eldercare serves?
As far as the geographical location, we primarily serve Travis County and the counties around Travis County, Williamson, etc. However, a lot of people in Austin knows us by the Summer Fan Drive, F-A-N. Every time that I say Summer Fan Drive, people say that I'm saying F-U-N because I have such a thick accent that I have to say Summer Fan F-A-N Drive.
Maybe an accent, but also maybe summer you think fun.
Exactly, right? Let's have fun in the summer. So through the Summer Fan Drive, we serve 15 counties, but primarily, like I said, Travis and all the surrounding counties.
Okay, great. And you talked about this, about how a lot of people know your organization through the summer fan drive. I think that's one of the surprising things is that y'all do so much more. Can you dive into what else you do?
Yes. And I think this is a great opportunity because like you said, some people believe that all we do is to give fans during the summer, but we do so much more. So we have 10 programs across 3 departments. And I'm going to try to be really quick. One of the first programs that we started offering back in 1986, by the way, Family Eldercare has been around since 1982, was guardianship, which protects vulnerable older adults and adults with disabilities from neglect and exploitation. Then we have financial advocacy, which gives us the opportunity to assist older adults that need a little bit of extra hand to manage their finances, making sure that they stay self-sufficient and housed. Then we also have benefits enrollment and SOAR, which help our clients access public benefits like SSDI, Medicaid, and SNAP, which especially right now is so important that people take advantage of the benefits that are out there.
And understand how to navigate what's remaining.
Absolutely. And it's just going to get worse.
Right.
Unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Then we also offer services for older adults that are experiencing homelessness. And we also help them stay housed. We have a department called Housing and Homelessness, which offers permanent supportive housing, which is intensive case management and wraparound services for older adults that are dealing with chronic homelessness, and rapid rehousing, which is a short-term rental and supportive assistance for up to 24 months. Then we have a service called service coordination, which we place different properties across Central Texas that specifically serve the elderly. A lot of these properties are in fact managed by the Housing Authority of the City of Austin. By the way, I'm sending Mike Gerber, the CEO of HACA, a big shout out. We help them with short case management with the purpose that they stay housed and self-sufficient. We also have under this department a small program called Veteran Financial Stability, which provides rental assistance and case management to veterans that experience housing security. And we care a lot about veterans because of everything that they did for our nation, everything that they did for us. And it, to me, is heartbreaking to see some of them unhoused and without any support. Then we have our programs that focus on mental health and community and helping our clients avoid isolation. I don't know if you or your audience have heard that statistics that 1 out of 4 older adults report feeling isolated. And according to other statistics, isolation is as harmful to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
I believe it.
Yes, it's terrible. These programs that are under this umbrella is home counseling, and we are the only agency in Austin that provides therapy in their homes, which is wonderful because that allows us to go in their surroundings and see if they have other needs. And then we also have a program that focuses on LGBTQ plus seniors called Rainbow Connections, which provides activity, resources, and just community so they don't feel as isolated, because this community, according to research, experiences even more isolation than the mainstream community. And on top of all that, we also manage 2 affordable housing communities. One is called Lions Garden, which is in East Austin, and the other one is Pecan Gardens, which is in North Austin, and that specifically serves older adults that are exiting chronic homelessness.
And so 2 locations.
2. And we are actually, one is in the works, one is being built right now. It's going to be in Montopolis, and the name of this facility is going to be Iris Gardens. It's going to be 150 units. We are going to serve everybody, people that are experiencing homelessness, and also we are going to have most of the units for people that are just low income, and we are going to ensure that this facility is LGBTQ friendly.
Oh, I love that. That's really exciting. So when is that 3rd facility opening?
So we broke ground in June of 2025 this year, and we are going to hopefully open the doors in June of 2027.
June of 2027?
Yes.
Okay. That's amazing.
So excited.
That's really exciting.
Yes.
What's your grandmother's name?
My grandmother's name was Luz.
Luz?
Luz means light. So she's somewhere providing light to me.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful name.
Yes.
I do love that she instilled this passion that I can see. And it's the passion also from your sister and those with developmental disabilities. You said it's the elderly, but it's also those with developmental disabilities. You're creating a safe haven for those in the LGBTQ community, right, and of course, veterans. What is the age range of the group that you're serving?
So for some of our service is 55 and over, or with a disability. For instance, our guardianship program, we have clients that are 20, 21, they have a disability, but the majority of our clients, I would say the average age is around 65.
Okay. My husband's mother, so my mother-in-law, she had a breakdown a little bit earlier than 65 and needs to be in a facility right now. And my heart goes out to aging, to what you deal with when you're aging, and how even everyone around her, we didn't know what was going on. And it wasn't dementia, and we still haven't really nailed down what it was, but trying to care for someone who's older, and it's time for you to start taking care of the people who take care of you, is really challenging. And then what happens if there is no one to take care of them?
Or if you as a family member have no resources, you don't know where to turn to. You don't know if there are support groups. And actually, that's how Family Eldercare was born in 1982. It was founded by two social workers that started getting concerned that family members who were providing care to the members in their family that were elderly had no resources. Hence the name Family Eldercare.
To your point on resources, we're not rich or wealthy, but we have the resources where we're educated. We feel like we can go look up resources. We're young. We're in our late 30s. And it was still very challenging to figure out how to help her navigate this.
I bet.
And so I love that y'all are providing those types of resources.
Yes. So can you imagine a 75-year-old woman that doesn't have anybody? It makes me think of Jane. I was telling you about Pecan Gardens, our affordable housing community in North Austin. Jane is our oldest resident. Jane is 82 years old. And Jane and I have a very good connection because she went to UTEP, and she's also my alma mater. I went to UTEP for my undergrad. She worked in Marin County. And before I moved to Austin, I also worked in Marin County for 8 years. We have a lot of things in common. And she was unhoused living in a creek for 4 years before she started receiving services from Family Eldercare.
How old was she when that was happening?
Maybe 77.
Wow.
76, 77, 78. Can you imagine being in your late 70s, living literally in a creek?
That shouldn't even
exist.
Happen. Right.
It's immoral. It's immoral.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I already love Jane.
No, you need to come with me to Pecan Gardens one of the days so I can give you a tour.
I would love that. And I also love that you brought up the loneliness and the analogy of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That actually, I think, came out of a study which Courtney, Dickey, and I looked at a long time ago, which is the Surgeon General Advisory when they declared the loneliness epidemic. And one of our favorite people we love to talk about is Robert or Bob Putnam, who was a huge driver of looking at the data and understanding the harmful effects of loneliness, which is why community is so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all are doing a lot is what I'm hearing.
Yes, we are. We are. And we would like to do more. Just last year, in 2024, we served close to 16,000 people in Central Texas.
That is a lot.
It's a lot.
And I know a very high satisfaction rate.
Very high satisfaction rate. If I'm able to brag for a little bit.
Of course.
100% of our clients that received benefits enrollment, which is a program that I was telling you a little bit ago that helps people with public benefits, 100% of them reported that they were able to keep or maintain their benefits because of our help. Our clients that receive well-being services like in-home counseling, 88% of them reported feeling less lonely, less isolated because of the services that we provide. 100% of the clients that receive financial advocacy, which, like I said, helps our clients with taking care of their resources, reported improved financial stability after 3 months.
So not only are you helping a lot of people, but you're very effective at it.
You know what? I'm going to have to, how do they call it? My own horn.
Toot your own horn.
To my own horn. I'm so proud of my team, and also want to take this opportunity to thank and to give a shout out to every member, every team member of Family Eldercare, because we work a lot. We care.
Staff, volunteers, do you have any numbers on that?
So right now we have about 107 staff members right now, and volunteers. Oh my God, we probably have around 65 to 100 volunteers if we count the volunteers that only serve during the summer fund drive. We are actually in the process, thanks to the great work of my Chief Development and Communication Officer, enhancing our volunteer program. We have a lot of needs. In case the community is listening to us and would like to volunteer, we would like to find people that helps us being care companions, just spending time with our clients, helping them feel what we said, less isolated. We are also looking for people that are maybe financial advisors that can help our clients with that need. We're also looking for retired health professionals that can accompany our clients to medical appointments and help them with those difficult medical decisions. And of course, during the summer, we have a lot of need for the summer fund drive, from delivering funds to help us manage the office.
And can you explain to those listeners that maybe have not heard of you and have not heard about this summer fan drive? I know things are starting to cool down in Austin.
I know, right?
So we're far from summer. Hopefully it's turning.
It's cooling down for 3 weeks, right?
Right.
and then suddenly it's going to get hot again.
Exactly. You don't know how long it lasts.
Yes.
It was nice today.
So the Summer Fun Drive started approximately 35 years ago, and we've always done it in partnership with KXAN. And we collect funds from the community to provide heat relief. And throughout the years, a lot of folks in the community have said, but a fan, why don't you guys provide ACs? What would a fan do? You would be surprised how a lot of the people that we serve, number one, some of them don't have AC. And number two, and the ones that have AC do not have the resources to have the AC running the whole day. The people that we serve come to our offices telling us, at least this helps us save some energy. At least this helps us with our children, or it helps us with our elderly family members so their body temperature can cool down. We've been doing it for 35 years. We deliver approximately 30,000 fans every year, and it is our largest fundraiser as well, because the way we advertise it to the community is that we do not only provide heat relief, we also provide supportive services. When our clients come to our offices, we also ask them what other needs they have. Do you have any needs in the community, in your household? Is there anything that we can assist you? And maybe we cannot assist them ourselves, but we always make a lot of referrals to other community agencies.
That makes a lot of sense to me. AC, I see my AC bill in the summer, and it's very high.
It's very high. It's very high. Now, imagine if you live in a fixed income.
Absolutely. I don't know how a lot of people are dealing with a fixed income, especially in Austin.
And unfortunately, it's just going to get worse.
Homelessness is getting worse in Austin.
Right. Oh, of course. According to data from ECHO, homelessness only among older adults, people over the age of 55, from 2023 to 2025, increased by 60%.
Wow.
60%.
Something recently that I heard about in Austin is that young people, that typically with foster care, that's almost quadrupled in Austin. So I'd be curious to know for the elderly what that impact is in Austin, because that survey you're saying is for the country, or
no, it's for Austin.
That is for Austin.
It's for Austin. Yeah.
I can't believe how much it's increased.
I know.
It's awful.
And I hate to sound pessimistic, but unfortunately, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Well, the cost of living is going so high. It's skyrocketed.
The cost of living is going high. Then the changing priorities from the federal administration might put a lot of people in the streets.
Yeah. We're seeing things like not prioritizing SNAP. It was really unfortunate that everyone was preparing.
And on that note, I'm very grateful for the community, because a lot of organizations got together and really made an effort to bring more foods to the food pantries. Our staff, wonderful staff, we did a food drive to provide to the residents of our facilities, because a lot of them rely on SNAP. So with every challenge comes an opportunity. And I'm very proud for the community of Austin because it's always been very generous.
Yeah. In a time of need, it's when community comes together.
Absolutely.
Okay. We just talked about a lot of numbers, but in terms of percentage of your revenue, I know a lot of it goes directly to impact the community of who you're serving, correct?
Yes, of course. Between 86 and 89 cents of every dollar goes directly to impact the community.
Huge impact, huge ROI if you're donating.
Yes, we are a nonprofit organization that has always kept our overhead very small. In fact, when I arrived to Family Eldercare, our overhead was, I think, 6%, which, is great that we were able to do a lot of work, but it's also good to build the infrastructure because without the infrastructure, organizations cannot sustain.
Yeah, we've talked about that on the show is you want to keep overhead down because then, people who are donating, they want to see all of it going to the programs, but at the same time, you need to scale and you need to have someone running it and you need to run it like a business, like a for-profit business. So you also need to pay these people appropriately and know that they're oftentimes going to do a much more effective job than your government tax dollars will do.
Absolutely. You need to invest in your fundraising. You need to invest in your communication because at the end of the day, fundraising is nothing but sharing your story.
Talking about stories.
Yes.
Do you have any stories that you'd like to share with us? I know we've heard about Jane.
Yes. So, I have another story. And let me tell you about a client. Her name is Cheryl. Cheryl actually came through the summer fund drive. She was one of those little women that came requesting a fan because she didn't have money to pay for electricity 24/7. So when she was receiving HIT assistance, as we call it, our intake workers started asking more questions. How else can we help you? So she shared that her husband had just passed away and that she was immersed in severe depression. So we refer her to our counseling program. So she started receiving counseling services, and our therapists are not just therapists. They are also almost social workers because as I was telling you a little bit ago, we offer in-home therapy. So when they go to their homes, they see what they lack and they offer other services. So for instance, she didn't have money to pay the electricity. We referred her to utility assistance. She received assistance to buy. She was referred to our financial advocacy program and she started accessing some public assistance and she was able to buy her own trailer. She was able to even register her car because her husband was one of those spouses that would do everything. So when he passed away and the registration expired, she didn't even know how to register the car. So our therapists and our other caseworkers helped her with all that. So I think this is a success story that tells you that at Family Eldercare, we don't only focus on one need. We try to see the individual with all the complexity and try to offer all the tools that would help him or her be self-sufficient again.
And she discovered you through the summer fan drive, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I love that. All right. I do ask a guest always a question that is not related to your organization. So it can't be related to Family Eldercare. I know you spend a lot of time and energy towards doing a lot with them, which you could brag all day about that. But to share a good brag, and that good brag is something that you've done recently. It could be a small act of kindness at a coffee shop. It could be helping another nonprofit, putting together a drive. Do you have anything to share, Dr. A?
A good brag is that I have a love and appreciation for animals, especially cats. We recently, my husband and I, adopted this beautiful kitten called Dulce. We got her at one of the local shelters, and she is wonderful. The word dulce in Spanish means sweet. When we adopted her, we weren't sure we were going to keep that name. We wanted to give her our own name. But then we started spending time with her, and she is the sweetest cat you could ever meet. So we were like, I think we're just going to keep Dulce.
And how long have you had her?
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah,
okay, that's a good brag. Adopting an animal from the shelter and giving it lots of love and a loving home. I'm sure she's very happy with you and your husband.
She's very happy. We are very happy with her.
Oh,
And she's a
good.
companion for our other cat. Her name is Mayari, that we brought from California. At the beginning, it was a little rocky. You know how cats are, but now they are like sisters.
That's a fantastic good brag. How can listeners show up for Family Elder Care? So how can they earn some good bragging rights?
There are many opportunities to learn about family elder care and to become our friend and supporter. I think one way to do it is every quarter, every 2 months, we have an event called Friendraiser, in which we invite people from the community that maybe they've never heard about family elder care. We invite them to one of our affordable housing communities. We do a little bit of presentation. I say a few words. We bring one of our residents so they can see the impact that family elder care has in the community. There is no ask. We treat them to lunch, and it's just an opportunity to learn. So that can be a good opportunity. And we also, as I said a little bit ago, we have many volunteer opportunities from landscaping, distributing fans, care companions, etc. And of course, donations, especially at this time when, as I said a little bit ago, the funding, particularly in the nonprofit sector, is so unstable, would help tremendously. Let me tell you, $50, only $50 would provide 2 fans to a neighbor that lives in a hot home. $100 would make 2 visits with a caseworker possible. 250, and we also offer the opportunity to enroll on monthly giving. So if people give $20 a month, that's $240 a year. People would sponsor 1 session of in-home counseling for older adults that struggle with isolation, anxiety, or depression.
Those reoccurring donations are so critical to your mission,
Very.
critical to budgeting.
Very.
We were talking about this on another episode, that the board member that I was also talking with, in addition to the executive director, the board member is someone I actually know. And she said, I would go to these galas and donate. And I didn't realize that one-time donation would be much more meaningful if I just started and divided that by 12 and
Right.
started today and then just kept it on. And so I think just as people think about donating, think about the causes you want to support, and even $20 a month makes a difference.
$1 a month. No amount is too small. Even $1 a month, which is $12 a year, that would make a difference. Even $5 a month. So anything would help.
Yeah. And Courtney and I talked about how much do you invest and what do you invest into? And we say invest, but donate in terms of
Because
causes.
it's an investment.
It
You are
is
investing in the wellness of the community.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's right. At first we were like, oh, well, I guess there's no amount. You don't know if you have the means or everything. But I would ask anyone who's listening to this show, hopefully you're one of the more fortunate ones that either has time or money, even a small amount to contribute, which is why you're listening to the
Right.
show, is you're trying to find out
Right.
where you can contribute. And something that we see people all the time all over Austin buying $10 coffee, $15 cocktail.
Oh my God, yes.
Easily could go into a monthly reoccurring donation
Exactly.
and feel really good. And do you know who Adam Grant is?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Bob Putnam and Adam Grant, one of our favorite people to talk about
Right.
on the show at the beginning. And Adam Grant says that they allowed people just give something like $1, or I think it was like 1 penny. It was so small every day for 30 days. And they felt happier.
Exactly. Giving sometimes has more impact on the giver than on the receiver.
And I think that's okay.
And that is okay.
Yeah. Also, talking about budgeting, most nonprofits have to start thinking about their budget, usually at the end of the
Right.
calendar year.
Yes.
I think you might have a campaign coming up.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Like most profit organizations, Family Eldercare is having its end of the year campaign, in which we go back to all of our friends and supporters that have supported us throughout the year, and we ask them for one last more push, one extra dollar that they could give us. This campaign is actually going to start Thanksgiving week, and it will go until the end of the year. And of course, people in the community that are listening to the podcast can help us with our end of the year campaign. And I think this is perfect because in Thanksgiving, it's a time of celebrating family, being grateful for what we have. And I believe that part of being grateful is giving back.
And if you've ever had someone that you wish was at your Thanksgiving table that's older or that can't make it, and maybe they've passed, maybe they don't live in their community, it's hard for them to travel, this is a great time to think about, where is somewhere I can give some of my money that supports that demographic.
Exactly.
And I think Family Eldercare, y'all are doing such great work. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much, because I know every step of the way of getting my mother-in-law into a lower income facility and helping getting her taken care of and getting the right support and resources every step of the way. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It wasn't Family Eldercare that helped us, because we didn't know about you guys, but every person, every step of the way, every social worker, everyone that got involved, I can't thank those people enough. It was really challenging, very difficult. And I'm so happy that there's resources that Family Eldercare is providing. And so thank you for all the work that y'all are doing.
Of course, it's our pleasure. Nothing makes us happier. And that, again, asking the community for their generosity, for their support, for their friendship. Things are difficult right now for a lot of people. And I believe that by helping others, we are helping ourselves. Another reason because I decided to venture into aging and disability services is because for me, helping the elderly, I also see it as an investment in my future. Just as I am being there for the older adults that need me right now, I do it hoping that when I am in that age, there's also resources and there's also people that will help me, if I'm lucky to get there.
That is mutual aid. Courtney talked about that. She says she gives to the community. She probably gives right now more than she takes, hoping that one day maybe she'd be able to rely on the community.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The magic words.
It is. Thank you, Dr. A.
Thank you. This has been great.
This is so good. Thank you so much, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. A huge thank you to Dr. Erin Alarcon for giving us a clear window into the work Family Eldercare is doing every day for older adults and adults with disabilities. Dr. A's compassion, perspective, and lived experience, they're a powerful reminder that aging is living, and showing up for older adults today is an investment in the kind of community we hope will show up for us later in life. If you're looking to earn some good bragging rights, Dr. A has already shared them, but a quick overview: Elder Care Companion. Become a regular visitor to an older adult or an adult with disabilities. You can help with errands, accompany them with appointments, or just sit and talk. Financial co-pilot. Partner with someone to help keep their everyday finances organized, from budgeting to watching for scams. We know all about those scams right now. Watch out for the elderly, please. Community mealtime, bringing people together, gather friends, family, coworkers, community groups to prepare and serve a meal at one of Family Eldercare's affordable housing communities. And Summer Fan Drive. A lot of you might already know this, but from May through September, volunteers help distribute fans to Central Texans living in dangerous heat. You can work in the office distributing fans or deliver them to homebound neighbors. Also, host a friendraiser, not a fundraiser, a friendraiser. Host a small event at a Family Eldercare housing community so others can see the impact firsthand. Enjoy a late lunch and hear from residents directly. And lastly, of course, now more than ever, a recurring donation of even $5 a month makes an impact. For all of this, just head over to familyeldercare.org and check out Get Involved. Thank you to Nightlight Insurance for supporting the show, and donation to Family Eldercare, Todd Thompson for editing and mixing, Ashlyn O'Neill for digital content management, and Just Push Record Studios for making this podcast possible. Next week, we escape into Ronald McDonald House of Central Texas, where families with seriously ill or injured children find stability, comfort, and a place to stay close to the care their child needs. You can learn all about their house that they're opening in January 2026, which is very exciting. And you can also listen to how Kristen Kulcher, Chief Operating Officer of Ronald McDonald House of Central Texas, was personally impacted by their organization before deciding to join the mission. You won't want to miss it. It's a good one. We'll see you next week as we escape into a cause.